Non-Texans, what are your thoughts when you hear Texas? That boy ain't right, I tell ya. HWHAT. Sandy Cheeks singing that stupid song that's been stuck in my head since I was 6. Edit. What have I done? Folks down there are Texans first and Americans second. Cadillacs with giant horns on the front driven by old men in white suits with big white cowboy hats. And superbly trimmed mustaches. All my exes live in Texas. Nothing but steers and queers. Full Metal Jacket. All hat and no cattle. What a burger. If Saudi Arabia was Christian. I'm from UK. I think. Trucks, tornadoes, guns, car dependency, freedom, and American flags. In my company. In a country on the opposite side of the planet from Texas. Gone Texas is a term used to describe a software program that has frozen up to the point where even Task Manager can't abort it. Otherwise we don't think about it very much. Except perhaps with mild horror. Literally just the shape of the state itself is seen from a map or something. Hey Patrick. What am I now? To which Patrick replies, stupid? Prompting SpongeBob to say, no, I'm Texas. Patrick then says, what's the difference? Quote, the stars at night are big and bright, also, single-action revolvers for some reason. I think of Gilead but with cowboy hats. Scared-ass cops. Ted Cruz, Greg Abbott, and Louis Gohmert. Also, Ann Richards and Molly Ivins. What Europeans think of Americans is what Americans think of Texans. It used to be, they're tough. And don't take any shit from the government. Now it's, I can't believe the tough guys became such pussies. Who invite the government into their bedroom. And rat out their neighbors. Yee-haw. I've been through Texas a few times and the thing that stood out to me was how much people in Texas love talking about how much they love Texas. I had a beer at the Dallas airport when I was waiting for a friend's plane and it was a Budweiser bottle, but instead of Budweiser the label said Texas on it. Diners would serve Texas-shaped pancakes. Every gas station had a section for Texas swag, everything from t-shirts to shot glasses to hats to magnets and other knick-knacks. I've always found New Yorkers to be obnoxious with how much they talk about how much better they are than everyone else. But Texas is actually on another level. So, I guess when I think of Texas, I think of a bunch of people yelling, I fucking love Texas. Longhorn cattle. Pantera. King of the Hill Land. A state with a weirdly intense rivalry against California. Doubly weird considering they're separated by 2 whole states. Ted Cruz sucks. Loud. I swear the people at the Dallas airport are always so loud. Militant evangelicals. I question the average citizen intelligence when I see Ted Cruz speak. You elected that guy? As a Texan, I miss the state that I grew up in. Granted, I was ignorant of the larger political situation. But I love the food. Tacos and barbecue. The music. And the beautiful landscape. I also loved the rugged individualism when it's not wrapped in toxic Christian nationalism. Now I don't even recognize it. I fear I can never return. Jesus Christ. What hellscape story is coming out of there now? Quote, when I see Texas trending I assume someone is suffering and there's a decent chunk of the state who is getting off on it. Cowboy hats, yeehaw guns, women's rights, cops are shite. First I remember the Alamo. I spent time, nearly a month, in Texas in the 1990s. Guest of a wealthy oilman for a wedding. I'm an Aussie. What I found was a lot of nice folk, but they had an ego problem about their state. Everything was bigger and better in Texas. I quickly found a way to prick their egos. When they started with the braggadocio, I'd quickly come back and, with a straight face, note we have cattle stations. Ranches for the septic tanks. Bigger than the entire state of Texas. Which is absolutely true. The braggadocio would quickly stop. As an aside, I went to a dinner party the first week there where there were a few Texan VIPs including a newspaper magnate. I asked, who did kill JFK? You'd think I'd told the funniest joke ever. They all laughed until the newspaper guy said, don't you know Op? It was Lyndon Johnson and the military-industrial complex. They were quite serious. A loud-mouthed, gun-toting, law-neglecting, backwards-riding state with a shitty government. Racist, homophobic, anti-choice instruments. Austin's a whole different thing from the rest of Texas. Rednecks who love guns and hate women. Sadly, I think dirt and foremost about how the state is anti-women, anti-abortion. Dumpster fire. COVID is just a cold. What's the big deal? Removed. Obnoxious conservative blowhards. Ignorant. Cult-like. Al-Qaeda. No zoning laws. So when that fertilizer plant explodes, the preschool next door experiences maximum casualties. Their power grid is for shit and their pronouns are he and her.